Hi, thanks, Ignite Town. Folks always ask where writers get their ideas. Zombie Party Girls came about when my daughter wanted to dress up like a zombie, and it was a few Halloweens ago. You know about Zombieland. It's filled with beautiful innocence that will turn and kill you. And there's this beautiful South American flower, and when it's reduced to powder, it's called devil's breath. It's used for mind control, and when it doesn't kill you, you do whatever you're told. Zombies in pop culture rose from the dead in 1968, and a pattern is set. A victim gets infected and turns into a monster. Zombies embody our collective fear of contamination. Think of it, AIDS, Ebola. There's fracking all around us. Pesticides, herbicides, GMOs on your dinner plate. These are legitimate fears. Now, my personal taste in zombies for the horror genre leans towards the nuttier end of the spectrum. Charles Adams, he's my touchstone. I love the subversiveness of taking a monster's perspective. Everybody's doing it. Look at yourselves. Crawling around in a monster's skin. Hey, did anybody make it to Denver last week? Anybody? Anybody? Really? Let's talk. Okay, and we all know zombies with a personality. You've met one. There's an off-Broadway musical called Zombie Prom. My son was in a Bloomington Playwrights production a few summers ago. He got to sing, dance, he even fall in love. Ha! Oh, Friday nights. Remember when my daughter dressed up for Halloween? She kept saying, "So, I've been stabbed. I still want to go to the party." That inspired me to write a short for the first annual Mooney Place Festival. In the first episode, a pair of young teenage girls wake up to find themselves undead. But that doesn't stop them from going to their first boy-girl party. And there's a sweet love story. The zombie metaphor for me wasn't fear of contamination, it's emerging sexual appetites. The girls have new desires and powers. They're insatiable, out of control. And a little insecure. I mean, they're teenagers. So when Hillary finally gets caught on, she says, "Want a taste?" Oh yeah, I like it. You don't sound like you like it. Whoa, what would that sound like? Well, what would it taste like if you like it? What? Okay, look, there's a need to put a playful gaze on female properties. Because there's far too much seriousness focused on female sexuality. Did you know today there's this wide ban on yoga pants in high schools? Last month, Ashley Kurdick found out that her local high school had joined the national trend, and it reminded her that 11 years ago she'd been sent up for wearing her shoulders. This news ticked her off. The repression of female sexuality comes in the guise of protecting young women, but these dress codes serve more to humiliate them and excuse the men for any ill behavior. It gets worse. Where do these ideas come from? A woman's naked body is so scary, it needs to be wrapped in plastic and shot. What do you think of the violence against women in our hypersexualized media culture? Some will say it's all in jest. But what happens to men whose hearts and minds are filled with images that seamlessly blend female sexuality with the threat of violence? Remember Santa Barbara? This poor young man was contaminated by distorted ideas about his sexual worthiness. So who's the monster? Who's the victim? Are they one and the same? Like in a zombie story? I propose an antidote to the spreading contamination. Let's make our sexuality into the fun, playful screwball monster in this story. Forget the fear of female sexuality. Celebrate it. Celebrate it in every image that you create and share. Join people like Dr. Debbie. Hi, Debbie. She's a sex educator extraordinaire. Play with plush toys to become more comfortable with what they seem mysterious or scary. Celebrate the truth and the antidote for people who are afraid. And while you're at it, celebrate all human sexuality. Come with me. contaminate the world.